Hello there. Briefly, I'm going to talk a little bit about who are the real internet creeps, the real YouTube personalities that are problematic, detrimental to society, overall despicable people. Um, they're not your average YouTube video creator. Um, yes, there's some low budget YouTubers out there. There are YouTubers that have gone insane out there. Um, However, the real creeps are the ones you don't see that want to protect their anonymity, and they are able to do so not because they're regular citizens, going on the computer and going, well, I'll name myself Joseph Hernandez, and who will guess that they're actually Chinese, for example. Um, yeah. The thing is, you pay for your internet service, or at best, you find some Wi Fi signal that will enable you to uh, either upload content or basically make comments and derogatory statements about other people. But genuinely, these people like to lurk in the shadows. A lot of people call it the dark web. There's no such thing as the dark web. It's called the slimy, disgusting bastard web. And women are not exempt from that. There are a lot of women who do that as well. And they are a word that starts with B, but I won't talk about what type of people those are because I'm just not going to. Um, However, they're the ones who make decisions that seem downright batshit crazy. Um, for your average YouTuber trying to get a start on things, um, you will see, and even if you're not a YouTuber, or you're just a casual video watcher, you will be discreetly shown stuff to leave an imprint on your mind, or it's supposed to anyway. If you're an adult and you've got a fully functional personality, it won't have the same kind of effect on you. And it does it through multiple sources. Pornography is one of the worst. It's not the worst, and that's not good news. It's not actually the worst one, although it's bad, for highly manipulating, and it's very bad for an undeveloped mind to watch that kind of stuff. Stick to Playboy magazine. Nothing can go wrong. That well, actually, when they start using transgendered models, then that is when the downfall of Playboy. That's when I lost a lot of respect for the company. Um, However, pornography, what they make women do. Sure, they get paid more than men, and they really ought to for what they make them do. You ever watch this stuff? You ever, not even watch it. You go on specific sites that are free, and you scroll down what, the news feed is essentially, and it's some downright disrespectful stuff, and it's usually against women, and it's despicable, done on purpose. Trudeau could do something about it. He won't, because he is a depraved individual himself. Um, that's one avenue where, there are really slimy people out there. Another one is animal cruelty. Bam. You're not even looking for it. You don't subscribe to that kind of stuff. It's not in your algorithm. You don't ever go looking up that stuff. Bam. Shows up anyway. It might be in the corner of your news feed or anything like that. And you don't want it to be there, so naturally you look for an avenue to complain where you can address YouTube. and say, I don't want to watch this. This is not something I'm interested in. I don't want to know anything about it. I know it happens. I wish it didn't, but there's nothing I can do about that. No, can't do it. You can, block the channel, say that this channel, I don't want to see any more videos from this channel. Makes no difference. The creep that runs YouTube will simply pick another name. He probably doesn't even have to think about it, or her have to think about it for whatever reasons. All they have to do is probably they have an automated machine that'll come up with a random name that hasn't been used by anyone any said person could possibly know. Like in the real world. So, say, for example, you do know Jose Fernandez, or whatever name I said, and he happens to be a Chinese fellow. As a hypothetical. Let's say you actually do know one, and he is actually using that YouTube channel name. They can calibrate that, because as all your information goes up on the internet when you make YouTube videos, or you're even on the internet, or even pay for the internet, even if you didn't use it. Yeah. So they'll create a name that doesn't, there's no possible way it would ever coincidentally be somebody you know. And you go, oh, well, this doofus, he's all the way in Thailand. I'm never going to run into him. Well, you mean Thailand 6 blocks away from where you live? Could be. And they could be lurking around, let's say you work in the public domain. You have, try to have a normal life where you're, let's say you work at a McDonald's or something. Or a library or anything. They can, and quite often do, to less successful YouTube creators, excluding myself, of course, because I'm quite successful, I would think. Send people around to do sound bites, as I have mentioned before, but it is important, because you cannot say, that was a sound bite. You said what you said specifically on purpose because perhaps you watched one of my YouTube videos, and although what I said wasn't wrong or incorrect in any way, it might simply be an opinion you do not like. And you may not like it because of your own personal bias. Now, having bias is fine. Having disagreements is fine. But when it gets to the point where you can't hack it, and you can't stand the very thought of someone having a different opinion. Now, it's different if they're trying to shove this opinion in your face, like the various examples that I gave you. And they want to be, they're basically a cowardly, weaselly people who would never tolerate being treated like that themselves. But they do it to other people. And it's the most gutless, worm-like thing I could ever imagine. And all sorts like doing that, and they usually start with a B. In fact, almost always. They always go, oh, the trolls, they're just random people. And no, they fucking will not. Once they isolate your YouTube channel, it is more than possible that you see them in the real world, even if it were a particular example where because of how they said it, when they said it, why they said it, what they were doing, that this fucker knows who I am. He's seen one of my videos at least. And you can't approach them because they'll just play the deny game and then they'll run away. So you can't even say, I know why you said that. And it may be something like, I don't know, what's an example of something? Okay, so one time, actually twice, but one time I was on my way to work and some dude was like right up my ass. And I'm not a slow walker at all. It actually happened twice, but I think there were two separate guys. In recent in recent history, anyway, last few months. Um, it was very peculiar because these people really would have had to walk like abnormally fast to get anywhere near me. And the first guy's pretending he's on his cell phone, right? Going, yeah, I was huffing and puffing going up this street, blah 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 blah, and talking about, oh, I have to get an MRI, blah, 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 blah. And he's like literally, I was surprised he wasn't, walking over my head and in front of me. I half felt like turning around and going, what the fuck's your problem? And like, if someone's walking slow, that's fine. You walk around them. But the second time that happened, guy right in my ass. I could hear his footsteps because he had a heavy footfall. I went, you know what? This time I am going to say something. I crossed the street over. Turn around. I see the guy. Normal looking. Didn't look odd at all. And you know what I said? Right up someone else's ass, jerk off. And you know what he did? He ducked into the alley. I saw him do it. I'd recognize him if I saw him again. And it's just like little things like that. You may think nothing of it, and you could never prove that this jerk off would know you from your social media, but you cannot deny that it is possible, and that they're simply trying to rattle you in such a way that you can't ever turn around and actually say definitively, you're such and such a YouTube channel and you've commented on my videos and you've said derogatory negative things because you've got no life. Because they'll simply deny it. And it's the same type of people that always do that. And then, in certain circumstances, indirectly, they can make your lives worse. Me, I think for what resources I have, I've been rather successful. In fact, more successful than a lot of my YouTube subscribers, who are losers. And, if you get to know people out there or know who they are from the internet and what they've done and why they do it, you're really not going to like people at all. Famous generals throughout history. You take Napoleon, Adolf Hitler, Stalin. They all had one thing in common. Their armies got slaughtered, and it probably happened because they probably didn't actually like their subjects too much. So yeah, they made controversial decisions that, was not good news for their armies. Same thing with, all the Greek leaders there were, Roman emperors and things like that. It's just part of history. But anyway, I got sidetracked there for a minute. Yeah, I just really wanted to emphasize that the worst people imaginable, who are not persons through the very long line of history that are in fact real people in this world who are far more pathetic. They do cyber stalk people, and no, they're not Russian hackers. I don't even think they're Chinese hackers. They could be, because in my Metro Vancouver area, there definitely is a lot of them around here, and who knows the information they pass back to Hong Kong, which goes back to communist China, and our local government may not care because they go, well, we're just feeding them more information, blah, 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 and they'll have so much information it won't actually amount to anything. That's your personal information. And remember, this goes for people who don't even make YouTube videos, who casually go on them, who go in there with, high hopes that, they'd learn something interesting or make intellectual statements. And there are people out there that are just low-life, despicable people who really, really have nothing better to do with their time other than harass, except they don't want to get caught. So, yes, very pathetic, very low down in my opinion. I have no respect for people like that. Anyway, I'll tail off this video and yeah, talk to you people later.